the Bayerischen Rundfunkorchestra, conducted by Carlo Maria Giulini. And from that music, we're going to segue rather gracefully now right into the studio guests I have this week. That is Sandra Leung Waters and Michael Sharmon here with You By My Side. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, you're no strangers to Music Infusion, but it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has.
Yes. And it seems like you have quite an interesting project here coming up that we're going to talk about. You By My Side is something. It's not a premiere. It's something that you've done before, but this version is rather unusual. Tell me about the show.
Well, we first took this show to Australia, which is where Michael and I are from, last November, and it's a cabaret. A tribute to all the music that we've done in several different shows. So it has a variety of songs, all the way from Latin jazz through theatre numbers, through more 60s, 70s, and a couple of pop ones thrown in there too. And so now we're bringing it back to Hong Kong. Very excited because this is actually where we've been living for a long time, and it's where the show was conceived,
right,
so to speak.
Okay, and so is there a storyline to it, or is it more of as you say, just a collection of songs put together in a format that flows?
I would say that the storyline is about our friendship and kind of the ups and downs of the industry, those great moments that you have, and then those really challenging moments, and how, I guess, having a good friend really helps get you through those times. So the title of the show is called You By My Side, and I definitely feel like Sandra is always there by my side through whatever different shows or events we take on. And I hope it's the same.
I feel exactly the same way, Michael.
So why Melbourne then? Why was this put on in Melbourne back in November? And why did you choose to do it there, or was it a choice?
Well,
it was a choice because the fact that we're both from Melbourne,
yeah, that's right.
I think we'd always wanted to take a show there, and I guess we're so proud of what we're doing here and the opportunities that we've had here. We love Hong Kong, so we really wanted to share that with, I guess, people in Australia, how wonderful Hong Kong is. And so that was really, I guess, the impetus behind taking the show there.
Right. Now, I understand you've had to adapt the version, or you didn't have to, I suppose, but you have adapted the version from the Melbourne show into the Hong Kong version that you're going to do in town, coming up very shortly here in town. What can you tell me about the changes that you made specific to doing it in Melbourne and then here in Hong Kong?
Well, some of the musical numbers have changed, but also I think the banter and the way the story weaves around the songs. When we took it to Melbourne, we were talking about our life in Hong Kong and what working as an artist is in Hong Kong. And then now we bring it back to Hong Kong and we can share with the audience all the fun and laughs that we had in Melbourne going back. Even though we're both from Melbourne, it's been a long time, and after you've been away for a while, some of the culture can hit you as a bit of a surprise.
What sort of things did strike you? Anything come to mind?
I think one of the funniest images was we were driving into the city, and there at a tram stop, there are people looking up at the sky. There are people reading books. And in Hong Kong, you'll see everyone on their iPhone.
Yep.
No one's looking up at the sky. And it was just...
Because there's no sky to look at.
It was so funny. We were just laughing when we saw that.
Right. That is quite something, and your observation is most appropriate. But in terms of changing the dialogue into something that would resonate here in Hong Kong, what have you noticed about? Is the humor different here, or is it pretty much the same in that respect?
I mean, I think one of the great things about Hong Kong is that Hong Kong attracts people from all over the world. So in a sense, I think your audience can be coming from everywhere. So I anticipate that we'll have a few fellow Aussies in the audience there anyway, coming to see the show. In terms of tailoring it more for a Hong Kong audience, I guess we did choose some material that we thought, like we're doing a Carpenters number, and we always get requests to do Carpenters songs. So that was one. But I think we've done it with a twist, and it's something that I think we're really excited about performing.
You've mentioned an aspect of this show is what it's like to be an artist, and particularly an artist in Hong Kong. And so I'm curious then, what does being an artist in Hong Kong mean to you? What is it like?
I think that there's amazing opportunities in Hong Kong, and I think if you're willing to open yourself up to all sorts of work, there is a lot of great opportunities out there, whether it's voice work, whether it's TV, and educational work. Some people might kind of shy away from that or not be interested, but I think if you are willing to try a lot of different mediums, there's lots of work out there, and that's great. And honestly, there is just not those opportunities in Australia.
Right. And why do you think that is? Is it something unique about Hong Kong that makes it that way?
I guess it's the size of the population in Australia.
Yeah.
I think that it's got a lot to do with funding, and I think that Australia was hit quite badly by the financial crisis, whereas I think that probably Hong Kong wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I love about Hong Kong, I feel people are perhaps more willing to take risks in terms of doing different shows and projects and taking things on as well, which is great.
And we have a lot of friends back home who, are musicians or artists, and it was just interesting talking to them about what it's like, working in Australia compared to here. And I guess, also in Hong Kong, it's the centre of Asia. Mm-hmm. There's all the big banks and the regional offices of multinational corporations. So there's always that kind of international flavour of events that are going on, product launches.
Right.
And of course there's that in Australia too, but perhaps not as frequently, perhaps on a slightly different scale, in a very different way, in a very different type of environment. We've got Macau on the doorstep here, Shanghai, Beijing, Singapore. So it's a good place. That's why we're all here, right?
Yeah, well, brilliant. Yeah, and very well put together, those thoughts. Let's talk about the nitty gritty of the show then. So it's on at the Fringe Club.
Yes.
Yes, and 21st, 22nd of March, I understand. Just the two shows in the planning at the moment.
At the moment, yes.
Yep.
But it's a show I think we're very proud of, and we're sort of looking at other opportunities to take it further.
Right. Now, for folks who are marking this down in their diary right now, it's a 10 p.m. start. Did I get that right?
That's right, at the new Fringe Dairy, which is that cabaret live music venue on the corner of Lower Albert Road.
Right. Is this the 10 p.m. start? I'm just a little curious there. Is that because the venue wasn't available, or is that a specific choice that you're doing it after dinner, people would go to this?
It is after dinner, but it's also the prime time with that particular venue.
Right.
So the box office is open until 10, so doors open at 9. You can get tickets from Hong Kong Ticketing.
Right.
And it's right there in the heart of Central, so you can grab a drink, grab some food, and then come on over.
Perfect planning.
Listen to music.
21st, 22nd of March. We'll have a chance to run through the details and chat a bit more after, but let's have a bit of music next from the show. This, I understand, is you both singing Slow Boat, or is it just one?
That's right, yes.
It's both of us, yes.
A duet version.
A duet version.
Excellent. Slow Boat to China. Here we go.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, Michael.
What are you doing?
I thought I'd join you on this next song.
Well, that's really nice, Sandra, but no thanks.
Aw, come on. It'll be fun. And you know what else?
What?
I'm gonna get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. Get you and keep you in my arms evermore. Leave all the others waiting on a faraway shore. Out on the briny, wet moon's big and shiny, melting your heart of stone. I'm gonna get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone.
Sandra, I didn't know you felt that way about me.
I don't. I just wanted to sing a song.
Of course.
I'm gonna get you.
You're never gonna get me.
Boat to China.
Not in a fast or slow boat.
All
to
to
anything.
myself.
I see emotion sink.
Alone. I'm gonna make you mine.
Ah, you have to stand in line.
Get you and keep you in my bare hands evermore.
Now there's a new attack.
Leave all the others on the shore.
For me, they swim to China and back.
Out on the briny.
I wouldn't
where
like the ocean.
moon's big and shiny.
Not even in a rowboat.
Melt in your heart of stone. Come on, what do you say?
You always get your way.
I'm gonna get you on a slow boat to China. All to myself, alone together. All to myself, alone.
Awesome stuff there. That slow boat to China version, kind of an up-tempo thing, actually. It's often done as a slow one, so I kind of like that. It's pretty cool, huh?
We had fun doing that. Yes.
Now, let's talk a bit about the music that you've chosen for the show, the specific stuff. That one, quite interesting, and I suppose you'd expect to hear that in Hong Kong, wouldn't you? Slow boat to China. It's one of the standards at jazz clubs around town, for example. But what else have you chosen for the show? And is it all in that similar style, or is there a range of things?
I think the exciting thing is that we are presenting quite a range of different styles, some musical theatre numbers. I think the last time we actually spoke to you on your show, we were doing Putting It Together, the Stephen Sondheim show. And so we're not doing songs from Putting It Together, but we are going to do two other Sondheim songs from Anyone Can Whistle.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So that's just one example of what we're doing. And then we're doing, I'm doing a Latin number, Besame Mucho. We've got, we're doing a little tribute to Australia as well.
Okay.
A little medley of Australiana. That's
Right.
very fun.
Interesting.
Yes.
And how did you sort of come across these tunes? Are these just things that you have known most of your lives, or for a long time, and now you've decided, it goes well together?
Well, it's a combination. I mean, I think both of us like to push ourselves and keep discovering new songs. For me, I don't like to do the same thing over and over again. So it was kind of as well about keeping the show fresh. And I think a good show does keep evolving.
Right.
As well.
Okay. Yeah. And in terms of the evolution of this show, do you foresee doing this again, either in Hong Kong or in another place?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd love to take it to Macau, or
Right.
even, as Sandra mentioned before, there's great, there's some wonderful venues in Shanghai
Right.
as well. So.
Brilliant. Well, it certainly sounds fantastic. Now, you've mentioned taking risks, Michael, earlier in our chat here in the program, and I think we're going to take one here in the studio right about now.
Why not?
Yeah, I think this has not been done this way. In fact, often when we have live performers, we'll either go to another studio or they'll have a go with their guitar here in the studio. What we're going to attempt here, just so people listening can understand, is I'll play a backing track and you will sing live in the studio. This presents all kinds of technical and other challenges in terms of getting the balance right without having any chance to go for it as a sound check or anything. So, fingers crossed. Let's just have a go. And tell me about this song, though, first. This is the title track of the entire enterprise, right?
That's right. So it's the title song. It's called You By My Side. And actually, Michael wrote it. And so I think the lyrics are, of course, appropriate to what happens between the two of us. And it's actually one of my favourites. It's a fantastic jazzy number.
Well, brilliant. So, fingers crossed. Let's have a go then with You By My Side. Here we go. Sandra Leung Waters and Michael Sharmon.
I like the sun and you like the rain. I prefer cock cocktails and you love champagne. We never agree, although we have tried, but I love to have you by my side.
I like to dance and you like to sing. I prefer autumn and you prefer spring. Our personal taste always collides, but I love to have you by my side. You know we'll always be together.
Friendship is strong, lasts forever.
And I'm not looking for another. We will watch out for each other. I prefer cats and you prefer dogs. I like to walk and you like to jog. We'd never admit we've got too much pride, but I love to have you by my side.
I like the sweet, and you prefer sour. I love to take baths, and you prefer showers. You have to admit, we're on a great run, and I love to have you by my side.
Wow. Well, congratulations, guys. You did get through it in the end. Brilliant. It worked out. So, fantastic stuff. And it's always great to try a first thing here at the radio. That's never been done before, I think. So, hats off to you guys.
First on your show.
Yes, very nice. Let's get through the details on this one more time. So, if folks are intrigued by what they've heard, or just want to find out more about this show, how can they find out more about what you're up to? The website? Is there?
Yes. We're all online, so it could be the website, goldenvoiceasia.com, Facebook.
Right.
We have a YouTube channel.
Okay. So if they were to search either Golden Voice Asia, goldenvoiceasia.com.
Yes.
Or maybe You by My Side Hong Kong, it would come up probably.
Yes.
Fringe Club?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
they can book tickets.
Yeah.
for the show.
And so the ticketing line then, HK Ticketing. That's for in advance, but people could also possibly go to the door or at the box office.
Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
a Hong Kong ticketing box office at the Fringe Club.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent. So 21st, 22nd of March. That's next
Friday
week.
and Saturday.
Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
Coming up.
So it's coming right up, and it should be quite exciting for you guys. I hope you're totally sold out and very successful with this.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for having
Ben.
us,
Oh,
Ben.
yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure indeed, and I look forward to the next thing, whatever you guys cook up.
Thank you.
It should be good fun. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks. Bye-bye.